I'm known as Aunty Zeta throughout my community. My bloodline is Yorta through my mother and Wurundjeri through my father. I grew up between Shepparton and Cumragunja. My grandmother, Yarmak, Teresa Clements was her English name. She was a speaker of 6 languages. She grew up in a time when there was culture everywhere. Everything that we know is from my grandparents and my parents. And it was just there in the family. You're talking the language, you just learned things. It was all passed through orally. Well, it's very important today because if we don't maintain our culture, after thousands of years of Aboriginal culture being in our country, the last 200 years, it has disappeared for a lot of our people. And so it is very important to make sure that we maintain what we know today through song, dance, language, and our oral history. And it's the most important thing to Aboriginal people. That's what makes us Aboriginal, is our culture. We live in 2 worlds, the Aboriginal world and the non-Aboriginal world. And a lot of our young people, of course, they're all living in cities and, large country towns and so forth. So we're surrounded by a culture that's doesn't belong to us. And so to maintain our culture, that's part of our survival. There are still people around in our community that have strong cultural backgrounds, and they need to be acknowledged and just encouraged to be able to share. The people today are paying respect to our ancestors and the past way of welcoming to country. First of all, there are so many tribes throughout Australia. Each one has a different way of welcoming visitors, and it's been set out from the beginning of time, actually. Everyone is protected, very protective of their traditional boundaries. Today we are paying respect to our ancestors and the way of life by acknowledging what they used to have by having welcomes.